My man. So we're live. Let's. I mean, we got a lot to talk about. By the way, we can still swear even though it's live on
Okay,
YouTube. So
I'm gonna try to keep it as non-cursing as possible because my daughter. I hope my daughter watches this.
oh, that's true. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
one day, she should be born right around now. So yeah.
All of a sudden, you feel like a father already. Like, God, damn, it's got me thinking about what I'm saying. People are gonna. Does it feel weird knowing that? Are you starting to rethink every Kingless podcast you ever had and some of the wild shit you probably said?
No. I think she'll be fine. We're gonna raise her to accept everything. So she'll be like, yeah, that's my dad. That sounds about right.
Do you feel like you yourself have actually gone through phases where when you first came out, you were not just like as an athlete, but mature wise as an athlete in interviews and how you carry yourself and everything?
Oh, for sure. I think if you go back and listen to our very first podcast, which was like, I don't even know when it was. It was probably well over 5 years ago, probably. I think I've changed mentally, physically, emotionally for sure. I can say, like, I wish, you know what I didn't do this time? No quotes. I didn't bring any quotes with me.
Ah,
this time.
shit.
Come on, man. What am I
Come
doing?
on,
I literally
man.
knew this for days. Oh, my God. But, no, I think I've definitely got more adult-like. You know, it was more kiddie. I think my wife brought that part out of me just becoming more of a man, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and now that you're about to have a kid too, it's a whole nother. I guarantee you, once you have a kid, it's a whole nother leveling up of. You got a human life you're responsible for.
I know. Don't tell me that. So, like, I've been excited this whole time for the past 9 months, and you're like, you got to take care of this person, man. You got to make sure they're alive.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, they gotta live. right. Yeah. So day one has passed. Holy smokes! Did you watch it?
I watched a little bit of. I was training most of the 59 session, but I definitely saw the 47s.
Yes,
I definitely saw the 47s. Though crazy day. I don't really put predictions on the women's side because I know nothing about the women's side, but definitely not what I thought was gonna happen on the men's side. I think it was a huge the other way, you know.
Somebody had said, no, it was Rondell Hunt, not somebody. He said that Austin Perkins has created a wave effect through powerlifting where in one direction you have people going to 83, Joey B moves to 83, Taylor moves to 83. In the other direction, you have Shell move down to 74, and then Shell squeezed out Kasim Sand, who moved down to, Shell went from 74 to 66, and then Kasim Sand went from 66 down to 59, and he's calling it the Austin Perkins effect because you're so dominant in 74, very difficult for people to see opposition for you. However, there's also the Amanda Lawrence effect. We talked about this before we went online. How do you feel about this? These are huge names I just mentioned, but they've all left.
Okay, so I would say I feel like it's a tad bit different. And I'll give you the main reason. So with Amanda, she's been winning for years. No one thinks they can catch Amanda besides maybe Agatha if she moved up, but she's nowhere doing that right now. But being an 84, I guess it's kind of hard to try to chase that weight class above you because it's a plus. So like just imagine like Rondell trying to chase Jesus numbers. Like that's unrealistic, you know? Yeah. I mean, it's a plus. But for me, people can still compare me to the 83s. That's the point that I feel like can get me around the Amanda Lawrence effect. Because people have always been comparing me to the 83s. Like when I hit A51, I totaled every 83. I had basically the 75 and the 83 kg record at that point, you know, until Russ came back and he hit 860. And then Joey hit 860 as well, Joey B. And then you have Joey B hitting 900. So, I mean, I still think I can get up there very, very close. I will say 900 definitely is a high number to reach, but I've done it before. You know, I've reached what the 83s were hitting before, so I don't see why not again. So I think that's the only thing that distinguishes me from the Amanda Lawrence effect is she just has – it sucks that she can't be at least compared to the weight class up just because it's a plus weight class. I feel like maybe if she was a 76 – and then, like, maybe she was closer to, like, she could get close to the 84s because, you know, they have a cap. But it's like the pluses, it's just like that's a well strength. Like you literally can just tap into that anytime.
That's actually a valid point. And you've dealt with that throughout your career. 74s period before you dealt with that. And it is that comparison gives new life to the 74s. And your 74 is like a class that seems to be always compared to the 83s. So you believe, though, because we're looking at 900, that's not intimidating?
No. That's not intimidating. If I would have went in the Sheffield and did what I wanted to do, it wouldn't have been 900, but it would have been damn close to 900. I didn't talk about it much on my Sheffield recap podcast because you know me, I don't like to make excuses. I'm never gonna be the guy to make excuses. I did not come in at 100%, but if I would have came in at 100%, I'm not gonna lie, like things could have happened. I could have missed a squat on depth. The same thing could have happened to me on bench. On bench, my foot slipped and then I got caught underneath the rack. Like there's stuff like that just randomly happened. It's not like I wasn't strong enough for it. Like technical things happen. So like, I'm not saying that, 880 to 900 would have been a given, but I do think it would have been possible on that day. So I think a fully healthy Perk and another year of training, if I just keep going like I'm going, and my wife told me what you said on the podcast. You said you guys think it's going to be hard for me to have a baby and then keep going. She said, I feel disrespected. My wife, she was like, you think I'm going to let this happen? You think I'm going to let this
She's
man
like a training partner now. Yeah.
She's like, because we've been talking about training after the baby comes, and like Joe's like, we can do 3 days if we need to, and Sid's like, we're not doing 3 days. We're going to move up to 5 days so he can get that bench up, but we're not going down. She's prepared to make everything happen. Anything I need to do to get it done, she's going to be right there with me. That's literally my partner in crime.
Yeah, God bless. Yeah. Well, I mean, the peak for an athlete is so short. Mm-hmm. You got to do it all right now. Having said all that, so this is an interesting scenario we have in our sport where you go to the World Championships, then you get the invite to Sheffield. And initially, you had some people who would maybe hold back, not take their last pull, et cetera, to try to keep the world record down and win if you're not overly threatened. Yeah. And for yourself, you are in a position where more than likely you're going to win without being overly threatened and have these options. On the flip side, life has taught you create these plans and life laughs. You show up at Sheffield and it's not, you could have held it back and it's not always there. So if you're 100% healthy, you come in 100% healthy, you're now faced with the decision right here, right now, you could drop the hammer at Worlds and post up the biggest total. And when Sheffield rolls around, it might not physically be an option for a million different reasons. Mm-hmm. And life can do that to you. And there are points when other athletes have said, I have looked back and that was when I should have dropped it. That's when I should have made it happen, held back for whatever the hell reasons, and whatever it didn't. When you look at this, and you had the Sheffield experience, you did, and here you are at Worlds feeling amazing, phenomenal. We said this offline. I'm not speaking for it, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling amazing right now. I'm feeling like back to how I felt before I hit 850 at that point. Like, I don't think that 850 is the ceiling. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I have this mindset that I'm in now where whatever Joe puts on the bar, I'm hitting it no matter what it is.
So having said that, is it difficult for you to hold back? Are you thinking, man, I'm not holding back. Tomorrow's not promised.
I will say I'm not holding back all the way, but definitely not going full force on everything. There's a few things that I'm definitely going to go full tilt into, but it won't be anything crazy. I think it'll be crazy based on how you look at it. I'll say that. That's what I'll say. I'll leave it at that because I just want to give people more things to talk about meet day since people don't actually think it's going to be a very eventful day competition-wise, which I want to say I never count my competitors out. And, I mean, like I said, technicalities happen. So I never bet anyone out. I think people think that the person in second place is a lot further away than what they are. I always give people, like, they're going to have their best day when they compete against me. So, I mean, like, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I don't think it's going to be the hardest competition I've ever done. I'll keep it that way.
Okay, fair enough. So, yeah, I mean, and you could do that. You could pick a lift or two to actually destroy, have everybody like, oh my God, never thought I'd see a 74 do that without, putting yourself back for Sheffield.
I mean, people do realize that, like, last year, Sheffield was still a thing. I know I was going to qualify, and I broke the world record 3 times.
This is true.
On squat. So, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'll say that.
All right. That's true. That's good. I'm glad we have something to look forward to. That's excellent. Looking at today's, I'd be remiss if we jumped over the fact that how crazy is it that the last time Heather Connor won, and Heather Connor won so many world titles, the last time was 2019.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
2019. I don't even know what I was doing in 2019.
So I told Turbo Tiff took it hard. It's the only time she's ever lost. Ever. And she's like, I've never lost before. She doesn't know how to handle it. She's emotional. And she'll shake hands, whatever, but she doesn't know how to handle it. And I told her, keep in mind, the last time that Heather won a world title was 2019. And this entire time, a dogged pursuit to regain that title. Year after year with no reason to keep pursuing and never stop chasing that title since 2019. And it puts in perspective, and she's 34 years old. Turbo Tiff's 24. And I'm telling Turbo Tiff, are you telling me you can't come back? You're 24. Yeah, I mean, you just have to have that dogged pursuit. What a freaking... I don't know anybody who's between 2 titles that long.
Yeah, the only other person I think would be Shell, right?
Was he in between?
I mean, like, he hasn't won it yet, but if he does this year, like, that's like the same amount of gap, or maybe that's the only person though.
But he did win one in equipped. If that,
I was thinking more Raw. In between.
I know.
But yeah, he definitely did do that. But no, I think it's insane that after I didn't know it was that long since Heather had won, because I know she's had so many, but I didn't think about what the gap was between. Like this year in 2019?
Yeah, dog.
Like
it was another world.
Like literally, that's pre-COVID.
Yeah, we got self-driving cars, autonomous cars, and the whole nine. 2019 was a whole nother world.
Yeah, that's really good for her though. Like I feel like that should give a lot of people hope, and it should still give Turbo Tiff hope. Because if someone can go that long without winning a world title, winning a world title. That just shows that, like, it can be done. So, like, for people that don't even compete on the world level, like, there's always time for growth. Because, like, going back, I don't remember everything you guys said, but, like, Heather was, like, hitting PRs on everything still. And, like, her second attempt was, like, was it above her deadlift world record or, like 5 kilos below it or something like that?
It was 205. I forget where the deadlift world record is because she hit something big at PA Nats. That wouldn't be a world record. Yeah. But either way, to your point, she was hitting PRs across the board.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's possible. Powerlifting is a longevity sport. People don't realize that. People just see the online, they see the posting, like, oh, this person's getting stronger, like, oh my gosh, but it's like, it's a long time thing, because not every meet is going to be a meet where you can hit world records. Not every meet you're going to feel amazing.
Right.
So, I mean, like, you have to take your time. I tell my clients that all the time, like, you have to go into each competition and just make sure you're trying to do your best at something. Like, Sheffield, bro, I wanted to drop out before. Like, I was like, I'm done. And my wife was like, hey, cut that out. You can at least squat. And after that, if you want to, like, just lowball it and do whatever you want after that, that's fine. But you're going to go in here and you're going to break the squat world record. And I'm like, if you say so.
Yeah. No, it's great advice because tomorrow, I said this earlier, but tomorrow's not promised.
Exactly.
You have no idea what the future brings. Looking ahead at this World Championships, and I also want to talk about World Games in a second, but looking ahead at this World Championships, what are some of the key performances, battles that you're excited about?
I feel like everyone's excited for the 83s just because of Joey B's huge national total. It's also his first time competing on the world platform, so that'll be good. People are excited to see that. Of course, my guy, I will call him my older brother, the return king, Jurens. he's gonna be coming back to fight for that title. I love Jurens. Shout out Jurens. And then you can't forget the guy Ade. Ade, I'm not betting him out at all. You got a world champ. You got Ade who came in and broke the world record, and then you have Joey B that hit 900 domestically. Like, that's gonna be a good battle. Yeah. I'm excited for that.
A lot of question marks around whether or not Joey B can handle it, like international travel and blah blah blah, and then on top of that, how close a guy like Ade might end up actually being, because obviously Joey B went from 865 to 900, and people are forgetting Ade's coming from 861. It isn't that crazy for him to be around 900. We see Joey B and just think Joey B is a 900, so that beats everybody else. If they stand still. That beats everybody else. What do you think? Do you think we'll have a 900 at Worlds, or do you think it's too tight? The other guys have caught up. He almost got caught by Taylor with that last deadlift. He pulled into 900 with the second attempt, and that was a max lift. Yeah. Taylor almost caught him lacking with that. Didn't, but you don't want to do this too often. Do you think they go 900?
I think I've talked about this a lot. I honestly think it's either going to be above 900 or under 900. I don't think 900 will be that cap. I think people are thinking like, oh, Joey B can just go in and hit the exact same thing he did at World, but maybe with 3 deadlifts, just to, make sure. But I think either it's above or someone's like the top 3 are so close that someone misses and then it goes below it. I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's like it's either the stars or we're still on Earth. It's one or the other. I feel like it's not going to be. I think 900 on the dot is just it's too perfect.
You could do that if you have a big margin between you and everyone else. There's no way they're going to catch you. So you're like, fuck it, let's load up 900. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. It doesn't matter. So like, I'll win anyways. They were thinking that to an extent at PA Nats, and then the Taylor's like, I might catch you. Yeah, you should have. That might have been a mistake. And I think that rattled them enough to recalibrate for Worlds, which I think isn't a bad thing.
I think that people have to realize too, Taylor at least he pulled after Joey B because he knew he wanted to pull for the win.
Right.
But with Ade just pulls after Joey B.
That's a good fact.
That's what you have to keep in mind these things. Like, someone's gonna be able to pull after him. Joey B might be strong enough to pull on the day after Ade if they. I know Team USA from today, they call pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just. But then you have like freaking Matt helping GB out. So like
there it is.
It's like that's why I said I'm not giving you a ranking at all. If you're trying to give you a ranking, you're not gonna get one here.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. What do you think about the 93s?
The return of Jonathan Keiko.
Right.
I'm excited to see it. I want to see what he's about. He's coming in highest ranked, right? Correct.
He is not by like 2 kilos, but he is.
Yeah. So I think it's
on
hard.
The flip side. Hold on though. One guy's a teammate. One guy's a teammate, Team USA. Another guy's a teammate under your coach.
I know. That's the thing. I'm excited to see Keiko back because I'm a big Keiko fan. I love Keiko, but can you bet against the world champ?
It's so tight.
It's like it's Gustav though, like, and he's like my brother because he's under Joe, so I can't say no on him. So like, but I'm not saying that like Keiko's gonna win because like we said, they're 2.5 kilos, 2 kilos apart. And then you got Emil. I'm a huge Emil fan, and then he just beat Gustav. So it's like that's like another weight class where I'm kind of like. I can't give you a ranking, man. Like all of them these are all consistent, strong individuals, and they're so close together. Like I guess you could say there's more of a spread down there at the 83s, like statistically, but it's even closer with the 93s, and it's like it's going to be about who misses the least lifts. That's all it's going to be about.
100%. And in that vein, Keiko rarely misses, but Gustav is extremely There's the problem. None of them miss.
We're at a stalemate.
Here we're at a stalemate, sir, when we're crunching the numbers. Also want to talk to you about how World Games, Team USA, you were on it, you pulled out. It's a real, like you're having a child, for God's sake. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. But Team USA is now down to, as far as I know, just Jonathan Garcia.
Yeah.
Completely everyone's left. Some people, I don't know the exact details for every single person. I believe Russell Laurie, I'm told this, I haven't seen the video, said, you know what, I'm having such great success with my training, bulking. I want to continue with the bulk. It doesn't make sense, etc. Fair enough. As an athlete, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this? World Games, so many people pulling out.
Okay, honestly, I look at it like this. It's, first of all, biggest thing, it's not the Olympics. You got to keep that in mind. A lot of other countries, it matters a lot. But if you go to the U.S., no one's like, oh, my gosh, you're competing at the World Games. Mm-hmm. Or like, oh, are you going to be at the World Games? No one in the U.S. has a clue what the World Games is. So there is no, like, I'm going to get more recognition at the place that I'm from. Like, maybe you get more recognition from other countries in the world and, like, other people that are competing at the World Games because there's all these other sports. But there's no incentive there coming in. The other thing is more, and you can look at this as a good thing or a bad thing. Same thing for, like, IPF Worlds, but Sheffield's a thing. I think Sheffield is a great thing, but it messes up a lot of other meets.
How so? Expand on that.
It messes up Worlds because people like me, I'm worried about getting this money at Sheffield. I got a family to feed, like this bread got to come from somewhere. And if IPF Worlds, if they gave us money, that would be good. That would be an incentive that people would probably push harder. But you have this big money meet that you're getting all this recognition from Sheffield. People are going to aim more for that. So I feel like that's what's kind of interrupting World Games as well. Is like you go to World Games. I mean, like if you break world records there and go all out, that messes up Sheffield for you. It makes it harder. So and so. Like it's just like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing at all, but I can see why it deters some people, and it hurts and it helps. I mean, some people do care about the money. Other people don't care about the money like me, which is it's fine. And like you said, tomorrow isn't promised, so why not just go all out? Mm-hmm. But then it's like I feel like powerlifting is becoming more of a career and not just I go to the gym and I lift heavy circles type thing. Mm. And I feel like powerlifting itself is going to have to adapt more to that. The more we grow, the more sponsors are going to come in, the more money is going to be thrown at you, and you got to pick and choose because it's not like we do a sport where you can go out every week and compete.
Right.
Your body's going to be beat up after hitting these big totals. Not everyone can be Pana.
Right. and travel, time zone changes, the whole nine.
Exactly.
China's crazy.
Paying for flights, all this other stuff. And yeah, the other thing was with SBD, I think I don't know for sure, but I heard that like SBD isn't looking at like World Games for Sheffield invites. Mm. So I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me on that. But if it is true and people are hearing it, that's kind of like, so like, I can't even get a Sheffield invite from it either. So it's like, you want me to go here and just like
compete to compete. So me and Eric Helms are talking about this. And Eric Helms said on the podcast, he thinks World Games is the biggest of all three of them. And which is wild. Which is wild and laughable. Okay, that's exactly what I'm saying.
To put over IPF Worlds though is still kind of crazy.
Insane. So let me put it this way. If you had just Sheffield, mm-hmm. no Worlds, no World Championships, mm-hmm. The sport on the tested side will quickly divulge into like the untested division, which is money meets. Different companies come. There's no anchor. So people can start, more money meets will pop up, whatever, right? So we know what happened to the untested when money meets are coming around. You need an anchor. If you took away the World Championships, I don't think you can just have Sheffield. Sheffield itself takes all the world champions. That's how you got the best of the best. Mm-hmm. It's already been vetted through an insane event, multi-day event, multi-country event. all over the world. The best nations send their best. Sheffield without the World Championships, I can't imagine. No. I can't imagine how Sheffield just becomes a money. Okay, so if you take away Worlds, Sheffield isn't the same. If you take away Worlds, all right, let's say you take away Sheffield. We already know the World Championships minus Sheffield is still the World Championships. You take away World Games, it's still the World Championships. If we lost the World Championships, we just had World Games. It's done off of a formula. It's once every 4 years. People are literally bypassing it on their own accord. This is inarguable with me.
Yeah.
I can't see how to me, it's got to be Worlds.
Yeah, it's definitely Worlds. I would definitely put Worlds over Sheffield. And then World Games is just it's an exhibition competition, just like Sheffield. It's an exhibition competition because there's no weight classes. Like me, if I was going to go, I wasn't going to weigh in at 74. I was just going to go in at probably 76, 77, compete then. I mean, okay, maybe my IPF points drops a little bit, but it still would have been higher than all the 83s that were competing there, though, because I was still lower than them. So, I mean, yeah, it's not as incentivizing as Worlds would be or as Sheffield would be, especially because, like I said, I guess all you could get out of it is bragging rights. But then it's it's so hard I feel like it's easier for lower weight classes because they combine the weight classes. So it's easier for the lower weight classes than the higher weight classes. So you already have because it's 8 weight classes. You have 4 people at disadvantages right off of the rip. And who likes going into a competition at a disadvantage? So basically, the lower weight classes, 4 other people are going in with a handicap, basically.
And yeah, to people's points, to your point, to people who don't really understand how it works, 74s, 83s get pushed together. You don't have to cut weight, but you're not going to weigh a full 83, and it's not off a kilo for kilo. So even if they out-total you, they got to out-total you by a wide margin because you're going to have IPF points on them. So it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. And I think it would be different, too, because I know a lot of other countries, their country supports their travel and everything over there. For the U.S., there is none of that either. So you're basically paying everything out of pocket. So, I mean, I feel like it's if you really want to go, and you'll do it. But other people have other things that they rather put their money towards or do or put their time towards,
100%. And that's why I think it's a great event. It's a massive plus for our sport. All of those things. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying in comparison to the World Championship or Sheffield, it's not Sheffield as an event, and it's sure as heck not the World Championships. So that to me is wild and crazy. So again, fuck Eric Helms. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going that. I'm not going that hard. I don't agree with you, Eric.
All right, but anyways, had to be said. It is what it is.
No, yeah, for sure.
But yeah. So why do you think that's why? Do you anticipate more people pulling out of World Games? Do you think World Games, if this happens, this go around, World Games comes around again, it can't really help. Where the entire American team's you know what? Thank you for the invite. I'd rather not. This doesn't make that event look good.
Yeah, I think something just has to change for the Americans to come. There has to be some sort of different incentive or more help. It just sucks that our country doesn't. It sucks that the U.S. doesn't really care about powerlifting like that. We have other countries don't have American football. In America, they love American football.
Right.
That's going to get most of the eyes. They love basketball. They love soccer. They love the major sports that's going to bring more money to the U.S. Powerlifting isn't bringing money to the U.S.
Yeah, fair enough.
But France, apparently, they treat the French like gods over there.
Right.
So it's it's different. I remember you saying that for Panna and them, the reason that they didn't last year, the reason they didn't do certain things was because they were trying to make sure they made World Games.
Yeah.
Because that's something that they really care about over there. So it's does your country care? Oh, they don't care? I could go over there, but I'm spending 3 months rent out of pocket just for me to come back and let's say I'm an 83 and I come back and I say, I want to just compete and pay $5,000 for it. It's just that's my whole thought process behind it, man. Like if it was just like if the medals were real gold, like the Olympics, I can sell it. Get some money,
Right.
But like bragging rights isn't enough to carry.
Yeah, not if it's on. Maybe if it's World Championships. I think World Games hasn't built that up.
Like Worlds, I can say I'm a world champion.
Right.
If I say I'm a World Games champion, people are going to be like, what is the World Games? If I say I'm a world champion, they're going to be like, that's amazing.
Say less. Right.
No questions behind that. Really? Oh my God. Like, I'm a World Games champion. So you played games somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just the whole thing.
Somebody had said to me in the DMs, here, I'll start throwing out some of the hot takes I got from some of the fans, and let me know your reaction to this. Somebody said they think this world championship, France will not have a world champion. And that would be wild in certain years. Leah Bavois, Penna, Turbo Tiff, Jad Jacob, Noemi Aliber. Like, there are some years where they've had like a wave of world champions, right? But Noemi is injured and Evie's there, and she's not going to hit the Evie numbers. Leah's gone, Penna's gone, and Turbo Tiff just lost.
You have Jade, right?
Jade is still in.
Who's she going against?
Well, here's the problem. First off, your girl USA, Natalie Richards, as well as Sarah Naldi from Italy.
Oh.
And Sarah is an absolute monster right now. And Jade, I don't know if she's 100%. Jade is a monster herself.
Yeah,
like, there ain't nobody scared from all three of these monsters, ladies I just said. None of them are scared. None of them are afraid. That's a fact. However, there's a possibility that France might not have a world champion this year. How crazy is that?
That is definitely insane.
That was a hot take that was told to me. And I'm thinking, that's a very hot take, sir. I got a lot of hot takes in my DMs, though.
Give me another one, because that one was wild. It can get worse.
However, however, all of a sudden, we're down to Jad Jacob already.
That's a lot of weight to carry.
That is a lot of weight to carry. It's like the reverse sweep.
Yeah.
That is a lot of weight to carry.
I mean, I'm not saying she can't do it. I mean, it's possible, but I mean, like, it's just will it happen? Can it happen? It can happen, but will it happen? It's just like you never know. Because I mean, a three-way battle is a three-way battle. It could go any way.
And you'll get pressure from behind as well now.
Yeah.
Where it's not just you chasing, well, I know what I'm going to load on my last dead. I mean, sort of. You better be looking behind you as well, though. You got issues all over the place. And all three of those ladies can win. Then you got Joy Namani and the supporting cast are absolute killers as well. For yourself, you've been in talks about the sweep. You were part of that U.S. sweep conversation. Do you think it's more pressure with the sweep, or do you think it's more pressure when you're the last man standing, so to speak, coming from one of the powerhouses of powerlifting? So there's expectations. It's one thing to be from a nation where they don't expect more than one world champion. It's another when it's France.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a lot of pressure to be on one person. Because, I mean, like, I felt the pressure whenever everyone talked about the sweep last year. And it wasn't like I was going into that competition, like, in a tight battle. Like, Shell definitely was still a battle. But, like, I was still like, man, what if I mess up here? You know, like I was like, what if I'm the one? And then, you know, Jonathan ended up losing, and I was like, I was like,
took one for the team.
Hey, better you than me, buddy.
Right.
But like, to be in a three-way battle, we have to watch both ways, and it's like, damn, you basically have the entire country on your back. At least we were sharing it with the sweep.
Right.
It was like it could have been either one of us, but then it's like, you had one person, and you probably were like, she's got it. Like, I know Jade probably was like, Tiff got this. Like, she's like, I got it. She got this in the bag. And then she sees that she lost. I would be like, oh.
All of a sudden, you're like, who do we have on the men's side again? Is it? Because if it's not just the women's and the men, now it's really like, oh, my God.
He said, it's just me in here?
Yeah. It's pressure.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it sucks for her, but it's not like she is a person I don't think that can do it. We've seen her win world championships before. We've seen her persevere before. So, I mean, like, of course I'm Team USA all day, but I'm not writing her off. I mean, everyone has to come. Everyone has to be on their P's and Q's. Everyone has to get the job done. And I always say this, and I think people get tired of me saying this, but it's earned, never given.
Yeah.
Never. Like I don't expect going into any competition, no matter who my competition is, that I'm just going to win. I still got, hey, look, you still can bomb out. You still can lose.
100%.
So, like, you still got to put in this work.
Who do you think is going to have their coming out party, so to speak, where after this is done, they're going to be on everybody's radar? Right now, they aren't necessarily.
I know this is going to be a wild pick, but I'm going to say Jackson Avery.
Oh, shit. Wait. Okay, you got to expand on that then.
I mean, it's just because I feel like no one knows him, but even if he doesn't win and beat Shell, I think people are still going to be like, because most of the world doesn't know him. So I think people are still going to be like, what? Like, this guy is strong. Because I was watching Nationals and I was like, who's this guy? And then I was like, oh, okay. And then he won and I was like, who is this guy? And now I'm like, I'm excited to watch him. I'm sad that, like, I probably won't be at the venue to watch, but I definitely will be streaming it. That will be the last thing that I see in the morning. So, Jackson, if I see this, you better turn up because I don't want to go to sleep upset. I'm putting the pressure on you right now.
Yeah, exactly. Put the pressure down. Speaking of the 66s, were you somewhat alarmed to hear that Shell actually cut weight to make Euro 74? And do you think, what do you expect out of Shell? Because initially we're talking 800 kilos as a 66. Is this a possibility? Now people are starting to, I don't know if it's course correct is a proper term to say, maybe 770 is actually the top end. And I don't know. Or can he improve upon and hit that 800? What are your thoughts? It's tough.
I don't think he'll hit 800 for sure. I don't see that being a possibility. That 770 was very hard. I think it's very hard to keep doing that cut, especially since he was not only a 74 before, but an 83 at one point. Like, that's just and what people have told me from being a dad, he just became a dad again this past year. So he has 2 kids. He works a job. I think it would have been fine if he would have stayed 74. Maybe he could have gotten stronger there. But expecting a huge increase, a 30-kilo increase after, like, adding all these variables and making this huge cut. Because Shell was already lean at 74. Like, he is shorter than me, but he was still lean. Yeah. Like, doing that consistently has to drain you, man. It has to. So, I mean, I think he definitely has it in him to win. But this is the second time doing the cut. The first time he did the cut, I don't know if it was because of the scale malfunction at Sheffield, but I do remember him missing weight, and he had to go back again. So apparently they don't have everything right with the cut. So maybe they're trying something different with the cut again. Will that cut affect him this time? Will it be better this time? There's just so many variables to worry about with him. That's the only thing. But I think top end probably like 770, 775.
So we're going to be waiting a little longer. Well, let me ask you this then. We saw Kasim Sand cut to 59, perhaps part of the Shell effect, perhaps part of the Austin Perkins effect, second wave. But either way, he cut to 59. And I had a couple of people say to me, this is a lesson in that not everybody can cut like Shell. Not everybody can cut like Agatha or cut like Evie. But I am not so sure of that yet. I think he's injured. Mm-hmm. And 2 weeks out, he got injured. And that's why he performed the way he did. Now, some people would also say, sure, he got injured because he's doing a big cut. And when you're trying to shift crazy weights and not bring the weights down in your cutting, this can happen.
Yeah. He was hitting some big numbers in training.
680 as a 59. He was like 60 kilos at the time, 61.
Like I saw his deadlifts and I was like, how is this possible? Mm-hmm. So that's why, like, I was like, if he goes 59, he has like a decent meet. I was like, bro, he's won Sheffield at that point. Like, in my head, I was like, Kasim Sand's won Sheffield. That's what when I saw he was dropping down, first thing I sent to Joe. I was like, well, there goes another year.
Really?
Yeah, like I like Kazim San too, and he was if I don't know if everyone's seen, but I was with him whenever they did the SBD shoot and drop for the Aspire drop, and like we talked and stuff like that. He seemed very confident in the cut, so I was training, and I was just like, yeah, man, like there's literally nothing that we can do at this point. Like, I mean, we're gonna go in, and I guess we'll try to get second this time. Like when I say I have faith in my competitors, I have faith in literally everyone. I don't see why you wouldn't have a good day until we get to the day, and then you don't have a good day. So, like, it was just shocking to see that he didn't do as good. But then I saw you run. You told me he got injured, and I was like, that definitely makes sense now. Because I think me and Joe were walking to the video, and he was like, Kazim San's only opening up with so-and-so weight. And I was like, jaw dropping to the floor. I was like, what's going on? And he was like, it was the cut. And then we saw you, and you were like, nah, it's because he was injured. And I was like, that makes more sense. So
yeah, because Mike T usually doesn't play the games where, artificial openers and then moving them to last minute, Mike T being his coach. All right, so having said this, if you were managing Kazim San right now, would you say continue to 59 or go back to 66?
That's tough to say. I would need to see him compete at 59. That's the only thing. So, like, he did make World Games. I'm assuming he's
going to World Games.
He's going to World Games. I would want to see him just compete at World Games first before I made a decision. Because if he goes to World Games, and let's say he does do good or does really well, and then, SBD is like, hey, even though people say they aren't looking at World Games for Sheffield, but if they are, they're like, all right, Kazim San did that amazing. Let's bring him. I wouldn't be surprised. I just think I need to see him in a competition to say if he needs to stay down or go back up. I feel like a good, healthy competition does that. But then now I'm thinking, like you said, maybe he got injured because he cut all the weight. That's a huge thing. I never thought of that.
And these are reputable people. I can't say who they said off the record that are saying some things to be considered.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
I myself am not ready to walk away from the 59 kilo project just yet. Here's the thing. It's at a heavy cost. Again, your athletic prime is only so big. That's one world's down. That you could have been a 66. God knows. So that's one world's down. Now we got a World Games. Now we got you're. It's costing you. It's costing you events. But I would say one more run.
Yeah, I say give it a try. I mean, or get as close as you can to it at least. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing him do really good at 60 kilos. Like, that 1 kilo, being that light, it does make a difference for sure.
For sure.
But if he hits something, if he goes 60 or right above 59 and then, like, hits the 59 world record total and blows it out of the water,
right.
I'd be like, hey, bro, make that cut. 1 kilo, not going to make that much.
Yeah. Hold course. Fair enough. Here's another one. Does Jesus Oliveras do an all-time world record, meaning not just the IPF record, which is the all-time, in sleeves, like tested, untested, regardless, just like he did the first Sheffield? Does he break that record?
Like, in general or at Worlds?
At Worlds. And here's the thing. Worlds has a quicker turnaround. Sheffield, much bigger turnaround due to the bigger flight when you're a big man like that. However, we haven't seen Jesus this healthy hitting these kind of numbers before. And even if you tell me he won't be able to replicate everything we're seeing in the gym, I would tell you he doesn't have to. I think he's at a level right now. Under Sheffield conditions, he'd go even more. Under IPF Worlds conditions, which are tougher, he still has enough. But damned if it isn't very difficult. You gotta select. Here's another thing that's gonna help him.
I have one question.
Sure.
How close is Timar?
I was just about to say. I love that you asked that question because that is the pertinent question. And he's at a position right now where Timur has cut like 30 kilos off his body weight and is not close. So it's open. So he can pick and choose. So he doesn't have to I got to squat over 1,000 pounds twice to make sure. No. It's all. He could do whatever he wants.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
He can do it. I don't know if he will do it, but he can do it. You know, I'm a big Jesus fan too. I love everyone in powerlifting, to be honest. I'm just infatuated with people and their strength. But no, I think he can. Like, he's been looking strong these days. Like, what was like the double or the triple he did? I don't even know. If you would tell me it was over 1,000 for a triple, I'd believe it.
Yeah.
That's how strong he looks whenever he pops up on my timeline. I'm like,
Right.
Oh, he's like on one right now. You feeling like I'm feeling right now.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay. And his deadlift's looking good too.
Yeah.
And I loved when he posted the first deadlift video, and then a guy in the comments was like, soft knees. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Side angle. I was like, oh.
Yeah. No, it's he's definitely tightening up. And here's something. I feel like, and I swear to God, at the top of his lockout, he hyperextends to an extent, straightens his legs way more than he would even be straight if he's standing, and then unlocks to a normal, comfortable position. I pose to you, I think a lot of people deadlift and have the exact same knees as him after he semi-unlocks them, but they never get to that hyperextended straight that he kind of gets to. Mm-hmm. And it makes it look like, well, it locks and opens, locks and opens. If I take a picture of him now, not previously, he's cleaned it up. If I take a picture of him now where he quote unquote unlocks it, you will never think twice about white lighting it. But he does this weird thing. Maybe he feels locked out when he overextends super straight up, but it's an unattainable. You can't hold it like that, but it's more straight than me or you standing straight up. If I see how many lifts are passing right now and their knees are not as tight as Jesus when he first locks it out, I think his natural resting position is a second after he's done pulling. And people see a lock on lock and they're like, well, if you can lock it that much, you have to hold it that way. And I think it would pass. I think it should pass. And I know that's kind of a controversial hot take in and of itself.
Okay, I think we can compare it to, and I hope I don't get heat for this, but it's kind of like when Ray Williams used to squat. Like, I feel like people were like, that's definitely not depth, but they started giving to him because that was the depth that he could hit.
No, okay. So the reason why I think it's different, and I appreciate that because I remember that conversation, but the only reason I say is I think when I don't even want to name names, but I see other people deadlifting and they never get more locked knees than him, and they're from all different weight classes, I mean.
Yeah. No. I mean, I agree, but I'm agreeing with you is what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying, like, I think they need to adapt the rules to say that's the best he can lock it out, because he's trying to keep it as straight as possible, but then you see he lets it go a little bit, and that's what's making it look like it wasn't like that. So it's either A, they change it and be like, okay, that's definitely his resting place, or he doesn't do the overextending thing, and that's like what he shows us. This is it.
Because I swear to God, some people just aren't overextending. They never get to that point, and they're getting it past. Where in his natural resting place looks normal. The only reason why it doesn't is because you see the overextension where it's super locked out a second before, and you're like, oh shit, well I can't unsee that. Those side by side, and it makes it look like he unlocked. I pose if it was only ever that one lockout of knee, it would never be even in a conversation.
Exactly.
But anyways.
Yeah, look, all I'm going to say is you try to be that big and have that huge of a hamstring and huge of a calf muscle and tell me your knees aren't locked.
It's I don't know. I swear to God, we'll see what happens. If he can lock out his final deadlift and he gets the squat around, it's got to be over a G, obviously, but I don't think the squat world record needs to fall for this. And if he bench presses anywhere around 600 pounds, we'll have another Sheffield.
Look, I want to see a deadlift battle. I want to see how heavy these big guys can pull. That's what I want to see. I'm going to be at home for it, too. I want to see something crazy like that. I'm going to be on the plane whenever the 83s compete, so I need something to make up for it. Jesus, freaking load 450 or something. You know, I need something. I want something absurd.
I think his biggest battle, honestly, is going to be someone from outside the weight class, which would be Sanchez in the 105s or Nanzo or one of them in the 120s. Here's another question I want to ask. It's another hot take. I'm throwing the hot takes at you if you agree or disagree all of a sudden. But does Anthony McNaughton clap the 120s like Bob Matthews did. Anthony McNaughton being a 105, Bob Matthews last year was 105 and change. Does Anthony McNaughton out-total the 120s?
Who's is Nanzo the heaviest 120? Who the
biggest
total?
gun? He's got the highest total nomination. It's Nanzo, Big Dev from the U.S.
Yeah.
I'd have to go through. Obviously, you got Nanzo's probably the biggest threat. You got Etienne from Lebanon.
Oh, Etienne, yeah.
Etienne strong as well.
Huge. So I don't know their totals. I wish I would have looked at their totals before this.
965 is what Nanzo hit last, and he's the number 1 nomination.
And what is
Big
McNaughton?
Dev?
What was McNaughty?
McNaughton hit, I believe, 979.
So higher. Oh.
He's in potential to clap the 120s. Now, you might say, why would he do that with Sheffield? And then I would tell you, because Keenan Lee.
Oh, I already know. He's under,
of course.
He's under Joe as well.
Of course.
So I already know. I said, he can't slack. That's why I'm happy. Look, everyone go hard. Everyone at Worlds, I want you to break the world record. I'm rooting for you. Everyone do it. I'm fine with it.
Right.
I think that Nanzo won't let that happen because he goes after. That's my thing. I think that the 105s will go hard and it will push the 120s to do better. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think that's realistic. The way that Nanzo holds himself, I can tell with his demeanor that he's about that business. He's like, I'm not going to let that slide. Or let's say he is just like he's having an easy day at 120 and no one's close, and then he goes under the world record to just save it for Sheffield. But then it's like, do you want to look Nanzo? I hope you're watching this or you see this. Someone clip this. Do you really want these boys to talk about you like they talked about, like Bob did to the 120s? Is that what you want? You don't want that. Because no one wants that. No one wants to be disrespected like that. Handle your business.
God, there it is.
That's
a pressure.
Because I'm not. I'd be damned if a 66 out totaled me. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll leave it at that.
No doubt. I can't imagine a 66 out totaling you. By the way.
No, that could never happen. Nah.
Here's a interesting, a bit of a segue here. I was talking to the French team, and after World Games, Penna would like to move up.
Hey, we need more eyes.
You need more eyes.
We need more. I think Penna would definitely be a challenger, though. I think Penna goes up to 74. Look, I hate to toot your own horn, Penna, but I'm calling 800 plus first meet at 74.
You know what? So it's interesting to say that. I think 800 is definitely on the table. It'll take time to build upon, but I think he'll blow up into a 74 kilo body relatively quickly. He's killing himself. He's so shredded to make 66. And when you see him, just no weight cut. Just no weight cut. His body is still down to be 66. He just has a water cut, sorry. He's totaling 30 kilos on. And that's just a water cut at the very bottom. Imagine he allows his body to get into 77 kilo range and he's cutting down. It's going to be a whole nother ball game. I can't believe it's taking this long.
I saw that people were saying that, he's going up because he just posted a pretty good total and he was weighing 70 or something like that. And everyone was like, he's going up to 74, he's going up to 74. And then I read the comments and they were like, no, after World Games. And I was like, oh, are you serious right now? But if he can just, why go 66 at World Games? Why not just weigh heavier and total more? Because I'm assuming is Shell going to go up after this? What is he going to do? So if he's not going to go back up to 74 and you are going to go up to 74, I say just go ahead and just start the bulk now like Russ. But you can compete at World Games.
The only thing is his weight class is stuck with the 59s.
66.
That's right.
I'm so sorry.
However, Russ is pulling out of World Games altogether to go to 93, I believe.
No, that's going to be crazy because we all saw what happened when he went 93 the first time, and I think he's only going to get stronger.
Right.
And I hate he has the buff of training in heat all the time. That gives you a strength buff. I don't care what anyone says. When I trained at game day for that last little bit, which I apologize to my wife because she hated it every day. She was like, why are you making me go to this gym with no AC in 100-degree Fahrenheit weather?
And it helps.
It hurts. It hurts, but it's like for all of my anime fans, it's literally the hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z. You're literally going to be in there, and you're going to get stronger no matter what. But it's going to be trash. It's you're going to feel like shit. Okay. But
and why do you think that is? I thought it would be the opposite.
It's because you feel so good meet day. Meet day is like you got AC, you're chilling. People are loading your weights for you. You don't have to load the weights. Like your grip is gonna be better. There's no slip of the grip. Like there's no your back slipping from sweating so much on bench. Like this is literally you have no reason to not have a perfect day. I feel like the only thing that was hindering Russ was him cutting weight.
Really?
So now that he's not cutting weight, to be honest, I could see him taking like the pound for pound crown from me.
Is that holy smokes?
I think Russ goes 93 and he's doing something crazy we've never seen before. I don't know why. I think it's because I feel like we're kind of the same when it comes to squat, not as much deadlift, but squat and bench. I feel like when I gain weight and I'm over, like I could bench anything. When I was benching 215, I was pretty heavy. I was sitting like 78. But like if Russ is at 93, his bench is going up and his squat is increasing tremendously.
You think Russ is a 93 might be the pound for pound king?
Yeah, like that's a possible thing. I'm not saying it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But it's definitely like I'm gonna have to try type thing. That's how like much because I mean if he was that strong at 93 before and it was like 90, he wasn't even 93 then. 3 more kilos.
Yeah.
Bro, squat's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. It's crazy. I gotta wait like. I guess till PA Nats, I have to wait, but that's too long to be waiting. To be honest, bro, like do a competition in December or something, just so I can have something to look forward to.
Do you think if you were him, you do a competition in December? Do you think it's for like everyone else's data points? Like, what would your advice be for him? Bulk or because the one thing that like Taylor had a rangefinder competition end of the year, and the rangefinder competition it gives you data points for peaking, gives you data points in terms of attempt selection, gives you some data points period to play with.
I say do it. I say do that. Like I'm just saying, just do a comp. You know, maybe go hard on one lift, squat, and then like chill on the other ones. You know, just pull something that you know will be comfortable. That's like you have no doubt in your mind that you could hit. That wouldn't be a grind at all. You know, like do something like that. It didn't have to be. I feel like December is probably a little bit too close because they'll probably have PA Nats in like March. Like do something around like October, like Taylor did, literally. Like October, he did like the Scary Strong meet. I think that was in October. Do something around that time. Don't push it except for on squat. And then show us something. Because I think that's going to be the most thing to look forward to next year besides if everyone has to compete at Nationals next year. Because Nationals, apparently I've been hearing that all of the U.S. lifters have to compete at Nationals next year because there's 2 Sheffields or something like that.
There is 2 Sheffields.
Yeah, so I think that if that's going to be a crazy Nationals that everyone has to – that's a stacked freaking Nationals. That's like –
the craziest.
That's like 2021 or whenever Taylor hit 850, 848 and a half or whatever. I think that's going to be like that Nationals. Like everyone has to come out. Everyone has to compete for a spot. It's on like you got to be on your A game. You might get first or you might get third. You might not podium. I think it's going to be like one of those national competitions. And I'm excited for that. That's going to be a really good time to be a powerlifter.
I think that's the way Nationals is supposed to be anyways.
Yeah, I think it is. But, I mean, I've enjoyed the not having to go to Nationals to like – because I feel like, well, it's better now because Sheffield will be at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. But going a meet basically in February, first week of February, to Nationals at the end of March or early April.
And sometimes, I got to remember, it hasn't been that many Sheffields, but some of the Sheffields are even later than that. And it's even closer to Nationals. It gets tight. It's
That's
difficult.
what I'm saying. Like, it's like you're not seeing any build from, or you don't get any time to rest. That's like, I might as well have just not peaked for Sheffield and just trained through it at that point. But I don't know. Like, I guess we'll see because, like I said, you'll have – it's going to be a hard turnaround for me now. I'm thinking about that because I'll have Sheffield in January. Then I have to go to Nationals in March or April. And then Worlds in June.
So is there anybody that you're concerned about in the 74s by next year in April?
yes and no. I think it will be like the same way that Worlds was last year for me. I think they will be close enough that I have to take a third deadlift, but it won't be a all-out third deadlift. And the person I'm talking about is Elliot Sykes from the U.S. Very strong kid, 19 years old, just hit 800, the youngest 74 to hit 800, which 800 is old now. Like, that was the thing back in, like, people don't remember that. The Richard Cho, Michael C., Taylor Atwood, me. Like, I think that might have been one of our first podcasts, actually.
Probably.
Like, that was like 2021? 2019?
2019.
2019, because I hit 800 in 2020.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So that's like, I'm glad that he hit it and he's showing strength. But we said this off air. I heard he's tall. So I think it's possible for him to get stronger at 74, but I think it's going to be a Joe Bornstein thing where he has to go up to see his full potential just because he's taller. I feel like I'm probably the max height for 74. 5'4", because people don't know my height apparently. 5'4" is I feel like the max height for 74. Like anything like 5'5" maybe, but then if you're like over 5'5", like, bro, that's pretty fucking tall. You might as well just go up. Like at that point,
I think Taylor said he's 5'6". I ain't trying.
And look at him now. Look how much
And he's
stronger
an
he's got.
83.
And he's an 83 now.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fact.
Yeah, like I mean, he hit the 838. I mean, he had a kid after, so you could say that was the reason why it slowed down a little bit in there. And he has like the job and all this stuff, but then he tried to continue and it just wasn't there because I guess he was a little bit too tall. He had to cut the weight. He started getting injured, if you want to say that was why. And he moved up, and now he's healthy. He can gain more weight. He's feeling strong. Like
That's true. Actually, I thought I was bringing up Taylor as a fact of being 74, but great counterpoint. He ended up having to go 83. He feels way better.
Like, I mean, at this point, I mean, I'm waiting to go up to 83. There's one reason why I would go up to 83.
Okay.
When/if, not if/when. When/if.
I just thought you were making an announcement. I was like, holy shit.
When I total 900 at Sheffield, I'll move up after that. 900 at 74, and then I'll bounce.
That would be absolutely fantastic if you were to hit 900 kilos.
That's like a
that's all this.
That's a perfect segue.
Right.
I think that I want like a Sergio Fedosenko type total. I need something that's going to solidify me for years on end. I want them to have to change the weight class, and then they retire my total. Like, that's what I want. That's the type of stuff I'm trying to do. Like, I'm leaving marks. Like, history is what I want to make. I want people to talk and be like, do you remember back at so-and-so Worlds when Perk did this? And people are like, who did what now? And they have to look it up and go look at it. Like, I'm trying to leave a legacy. I want my child to be the age I am and be talking about me on podcasts or whatever they have in the future in 2040, whatever. You know, like, that's the type of legacy I want to leave. I want people to talk about me. I've always told Joe that I want people to talk about me like they talk about Ed Cohen. Not in the bad way, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, easy.
Not in the bad way, though.
You're going to be tested at this Worlds.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Like, I want to make sure that people are like, yeah, like Austin Perkins strong. Like, I want people to be showing, like, flat photos of me and being like, you see this guy that's, like, 74 kilos that's squatting 345 kilos? Like, I want stuff like that. Like, that's my retirement, go home, like, I'm done speech. The other thing would be winning multiple world titles in multiple weight classes. That's why I would go up to 83 at that point.
Is there a point when you win enough 74s, like world titles, and you decide, I've said all I need to say, even without 900 kilos?
So if it comes to the point where I don't hit 900 and it's just like me just staying in 74s, I know Joe Bornstein said this on the podcast. I don't know if he said 4 or 5, but I think 4 to 5 world titles undefeated, that's good. I think that's like, you can go up and be fine. I think that's it. So if the 900 doesn't happen, I keep going. I think that's the plan. 5 years, and then it's like, it's either 5-year world's titles in a row and go up, or hit 900 and then go up. That's like, those are the two reasons that I would go up.
And which one do you think comes first?
The 900 for sure.
Yeah.
There's no reason that I shouldn't hit 900. The goals that if I were to go all out at this competition, 900 wouldn't. I don't think it would be there just because bench isn't where the number I want to hit. But if I added it to deadlift, maybe, because my deadlift's been on. Oh, I was supposed to tell you this. Dang it, Joe's gonna be like, how come he didn't mention this? I hit 340 in training easy. I didn't post it.
Do you got video?
No. I didn't press record. Joe was like, are you serious? And Sid was like, my wife was like, you didn't record that. And I was like, I didn't record it. She was like, no, you didn't press it. I was hyped that day because I don't listen to music when I train anymore. But it was my last deadlift of last block. And I'm like, I'm vibing. I'm listening to music. I'm like, I'm red hot. This is the day I posted the 320 and it was real fast. And I jumped from 5 reds to 6 reds. That was like, it was that day. And I jumped from 5 reds to 6 reds, 6 reds to, which is 320 to 340. 340 moved so easy. And I was like, I can put 350 on right now. And she was like, don't do it. Don't put 350 on right now. And I was like, but I can. She was like, but you have one more block left. But I was like, I can. So, like, deadlift's on one right now. Squat's definitely on one right now. Bench is weird because we don't know how cuts affect mine. Because I'm cutting a little bit now because I got a little bulky, dad body weight. But it's not like a huge cut. Like, I was 76 and a half, so I had to cut 2.5 kilos.
That's not much.
Did a little gut cut. It's fine. Like, I'm at weight now. I'm just trying to make sure I maintain it going into comp. But no, like low 340 on the bar right now, I'm squatting it. I'll say that. If you give it to me right now, I'm squatting it.
That's insane.
Like, no hesitation. Like, I would destroy it. That's how I'm feeling right now. Like, it's been amazing. I don't know what. I think it's because I switched back to heels. That's probably the biggest reason. But, yeah, man, I wish that these are the times I wish Sheffield wasn't a thing. Because I would definitely I would go so hard right now.
If we're to wrap up, one last question. I don't want you to give too much away. But what is one thing we're going to be saying? What are we going to be talking about the next day after you compete? And you don't have to get specific to an event. But what are we going to be saying the day after you compete?
It's hard because it could be multiple things. Because I already have the narrative in my head, and I already told Joe what I want to do. Definitely, people will say that there's no 74 that's close. I won't tell you the reason people are gonna say that, but that's gonna be the majority point. And people are gonna. It depends on the 83s with the pound for pound thing. It just depends on how that battle goes. But you could probably say, yeah, no one's close pound for pound either. You probably could say that as well. Like, it'll be both of those things, but it just depends on, everyone has a different perspective. So it'll be that type of perspective. But yeah, it depends on how the 83s do, and that's really it for the pound for pound thing. If they go well over 900, then
it'll get tough.
Then it'll get tough. But if they go well over 900, it won't be easy that they go well over 900, though. We all know that. So I'll just say my total will be easier than their total. And the points for IPF points won't be that far away.
Okay.
And it depends on how much I weigh, too, because apparently the scale thing's been weird. But, yeah, definitely no 74 will be close after this. People will be like, yeah, it was. They'll look back at PA Nats and be like, okay, maybe we were just talking.
All right. We got to calm down. All right. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you coming in. You still got to compete. We're at Worlds, and you're cutting into your own schedule to do this. Much appreciated. Good luck, and we'll talk after the competition.
Yeah, I'll see you, Come to the back. We got to talk before.
We'll talk for sure. Everybody listening, as per usual, subscribe, give us high ratings, and make sure you check the schedule because we have tons of these every single day, some of them multiple times a day. And until next time, Six Pack Lapadat, 6 up, and we are out.